Tell me, does a donut have to have a hole in the middle? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? I'm Gordon. I'm Gordon. I'm Gordon. I'm gonna eat it. I'm eating it. I'm Gordon, and today I'm gonna eat a donut. Or is it really a donut? Tell me, does a donut have to have a hole in the middle? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? I went to a place to get donuts today. I drove all the way to Wentzville, Missouri to get donuts. That's right. And I went to a place called Parlor Doughnuts. And that is Doughnuts, donuts, not Donuts. So this is a fancy donut place. I went to a place called Parlor Doughnuts. It is on South Church Street, very near Highway 70. And I got 4 donuts. The box holds 4 donuts, so I got 4. I usually just get 3, and it's not your typical donut shop. So they make what's called layered donuts. And I don't know the whole story behind it, but my understanding is it's like something similar to like a croissant dough where it's folded over, it's got butter, and it's folded over, and it's folded over, and makes tons and tons of layers. Well, that's supposedly kind of what this is, these donuts are. They don't really have a hole in the middle of them, so that's why I ask. Should your donut have a hole in the middle of it? Or if it doesn't have a hole, is it something else? Is it a pastry? I don't know. You tell me. I got a honey glazed donut. We got a lemonade donut. We got a coconut cream filled donut. And then we got a plain Jane donut. Now again, none of these have holes in them, so if you don't want to call them donuts, you tell me. They look really good. We went kind of later in the day, so they weren't really busy. Their donut rack was kind of light, but they still had a pretty good selection, even at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I think is when we went there. So these donuts are not like piping hot, fresh out of the deep fryer, that kind of thing. And you can see it on the box. The box is pretty fancy. So this is a fancy place. So what about this Parlor Doughnuts? What's the deal with them? Well, looks like it was started back in 2019 in Evansville, Indiana. And it got popular pretty quick. And so they started doing franchises. And so the place I went to in Wentzville is a franchise. I'm assuming it is a locally owned establishment, and it is a franchise of Parlor Doughnuts. The donuts themselves are pretty big. This is a pretty big donut. This is the honey glazed donut, and I'll get you close up there. It's pretty hefty. It does kind of have a hole in the bottom. The hole doesn't necessarily go all the way through though, so I'm not sure if it's a hole or not. It looks like, I don't know if you can tell from looking at the bottom there, looks like it was a big hunk of dough that they wrapped around itself and maybe folded the top over on top of it. That's what I'm guessing. So I'm going to cut this in half so we can see what it looks like on the inside. All right, here comes a interview, a profile. I will tell you, just from the looks of it, it doesn't quite remind me of say a croissant. It does look like it's got there's a bit more to it than like a regular yeast donut. Anyway, you tell me what you think there, huh? So let's go in for this first bite. See how it is. Again, honey glazed donut. Yeah, I can kind of tell. The cutting in half, you don't really notice it so much. It's kind of the way when you cut it, I guess it doesn't look that way, but when you bite into it, you can tell it's kind of a layered thing. You can kind of see a little bit better. Definitely reminds me of the deep fried croissants I've gotten at the grocery store here. Let's have one more bite of this one. Wow, that is so good. This one is essentially your standard glazed donut. It is awesome. My hands were clean. They really were. All right, so this one is called the lemonade donut. I'm assuming it's got lemon icing on it, maybe something else. Now this one doesn't really have a hole in the bottom of it, but again, if you look there, you can kind of, I don't know if you can see that very good or not, but you can kind of see how it's kind of twirled around itself there. All right, so So this is a quarter of that donut. You can get a better, I think you can see better the layers in there maybe. There was a little bit of cream icing or something on the top of it, some yellow icing. On the outside, there's kind of like a powdered sugar or something, I think, on it too. All right, have a bite. That is really good. The base donut is pretty much the same thing. The lemon icing really does add kind of a nice touch to it. Awesome. This one was coconut cream filled donut, it says. Again, there's not really a hole in the bottom of it. It has a really nice layered texture to it. Very much reminiscent of a croissant. This one's got a big dollop of whipped cream on the top there with some dried coconut on it. There is some cream filling on the inside. This little wedge doesn't have a lot of that on it, but you might be able to see it there on the edge. Looks like all these donuts, they have like a light sugar coating on the outside. Maybe it may not be powdered sugar, but like a granulated sugar almost. All right, let's have a bite here with the coconut cream. Holy cow. We got one more here. This last one is called the Plain Jane. I'm assuming it is the base donut that's been deep fried. And I don't know if it's coated in a light coating of powdered sugar. That's what it looks like. It looks like powdered sugar. This is the Plain Jane. Nothing on the inside. Just the donut and a light dusting of powdered sugar or something on the outside. And the inside is so tender and the outside is kind of just almost to the point of being a little bit crunchy. That's just like, oh. All right, you ready? This is just like a donut, the dough that's fried, and it's a very, very light coating of powdered sugar, I believe. It's not very sweet. It is really, really good. Oh. Wow. The donut part. Oh. So good. Those donuts are so good, but they're a little on the pricey side. Those 4 donuts were about $17, I think. Maybe they're priced accordingly to what you would pay at other places for donuts. The price varies from place to place. Some places you get a little tiny donut and it's like $2. Some places you get a big donut, it's like $1. They seem a little pricey, but there's a lot of donut there and they are really good. Now, if you're looking for an apple fritter or a old-fashioned donut, which I really like, they're not going to have it. They're going to have one of these, what I showed you, and it might have one with apple in it, but today I didn't see one. I didn't get one. And they don't really have a hole in it. So if you want a donut that's got a hole in it, they don't have it. They do have little mini things also. They're little mini squares. I'm assuming it's the same dough, and they cut it into little squares and deep fry it. We did not try any of those. It's, I guess, sort of the equivalent of a donut hole with a donut that doesn't have a hole in it. Parlor Doughnuts, Wentzville, Missouri, on South Church Street, very near I-70. Give them a try. Go get one at the very least and try it. It is awesome. That's it. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Tune in again real soon when I make questionable eating decisions, but they're going to be tasty. Maybe a tasty giant donut. You never know. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got. Thanks so much for watching. And over there, up here, go to that guy over there, click his little head and subscribe to my channel. You might see more videos of me eating tasty donuts like these over here. Or there's another video over there on the bottom. And it might be me eating a donut from a tasty donut shop. Anyway, go watch it. And if you really liked it, give me a thumbs up. Would greatly appreciate that. Thanks so much.